Okay.
Get out the insurance cards, get out the copays. The office is open, my friends. Brought to you by drroto.com.
Hey there, everybody, it's Dr. Roto. Get out the insurance cards, get out the copay. The office is open, my friends. I know it's seasonal week 14, and I know we're trying to get our fantasy playoffs, but we're trying to make money in DFS, and we're going to do it right here on Friday Night Lights with my friends Willie Walls and the great Swame Odell Blocker. Willie Walls, are you ready for this weather week?
Yes, I think it's going to be very interesting, but listen, as we've seen in other games, weather doesn't mean everything. You can still score in weather. Wind is the key thing. If you got wind, then you got some trouble.
100% on that. Swami, are you worrying about the weather? Because I agree with Willie. Unless it's windy out there, I give advantage to the offense.
Not too much. I mean, it's football weather, I think. This time of year, we're going to expect a little bit. I mean, if it gets crazy, like Willie said, when you got those 30-mile-an-hour gusts, that's going to affect the kicking game or the deep passing game. But when it's just a little bit of weather, we got to expect that this time of year.
All right, let's get it started, guys. Carolina and New Orleans. Derek Carr is going to play. Shockingly, I thought it was going to be Jameis Winston was going to make.
He's playing?
Right now, they think he's playing. It's not decided yet, but right now it looks like he's playing. Well, let's talk about playing. Taysom Hill hasn't practiced all week. If Taysom Hill doesn't play, is Alvin Kamara a must play, Willie?
I'm not going to say that he's a must play. I mean, he's a good play, but I'm not going to say he's a must play. I mean, Kamara has been. I mean, he's been getting it done. He got it done ugly last week. It was real ugly the way he got it done, but you can't keep going to that. So I mean, I'm not going to. I'm going to be honest with you. Carolina been a little scrappy lately, so, and with this Derek Carr, I thought I was getting Winston and I was all on Olave and all that kind of stuff. I don't like Derek Carr. I don't. I think he's hurt. I think he's broken. I was hoping to get Winston in there. I didn't know he was back. God, dog, man. That made
Swami,
me think about.
Are you playing Olave? Are you playing any Saints? Are you playing any our boy Jonathan Mingo, who had 12 points last week? To me, it's Kamara or bust.
Yeah, I don't like this game a whole lot. Kamara obviously would be my favorite play. Olave, it's not bad. I think him and Carr got a little something going. I think no matter who's in there, he's probably, going to be a decent play. But I don't know how many points are going to come out of this game. But I am interested in probably Olave. I know Mingo had a decent game for his price point, but I'm still not on the Mingo train. I'm a stay away from Carolina. But if I was to look at anybody, I can't even say his name, so I'll just stop there, Doc.
All right. Let's take a look at this next game, guys, which I'm actually interested in. Because, Swami, I know you're interested in this game. The Rams are playing the Ravens. Lamar always does well against these NFC teams that don't know how to play him, right? They don't see him that much. Baltimore is absolutely possessed at home, right? My only fear with Lamar is I don't know who to put him with. I do like Isaiah Likely a lot. He's one of my sleeper picks of the week, even though he's not cheap. But between like Beckham and Flowers and Bateman, and I like Keaton Mitchell play well. I feel like there's too many guys here, and I don't know what to do.
Doc, I think you pick one guy, whether that's Zay Flowers. I'm not mad at Likely, whether it's Mitchell, but you pick one guy, whoever you think in your game theory is going to come along with Lamar. It's not a double stack thing, I don't think here, even though they could go off, but I'm just not as confident in it. And why I say you could double stack it, just so Tyrone doesn't show up here too early, is because of the prices. It's not like you got to pay a whole lot to get two of these folks in there. Likely's got a great price for what we think he can do. He hasn't put it together yet. Zay Flowers still is probably the most expensive player over there. And, Edwards is still in the mix, especially in games where we think they're going to have points. So, Mitchell isn't that much. It's worth a shot, I think, at playing them at home. I think the Ravens going to put up 30 points. And if you can put that combination together, I think you'll be in great shape.
Willie, I'm confused here because I mean Kyron Williams is hard to play, Puka is hard to play, Cup is hard to play. They're just hard to play, and I don't know if I'm getting back and forth. So can I play Lamar naked? What do you like in this game?
If anybody in this game if I had to play, it'd be Lamar and likely. Because I think the Rams are terrible against tight ends. But I mean, I just think that the Ravens just good and their defense is enough that at the Rams price points, I don't want to touch them. You know what I mean? Because the Ravens are tough at home, and I just think that they're going to spread it out. I think you're going to spread it out to people. So I'm not going to be too interested in this game. Listen, I respect the Ravens defense. I ain't trying to take nobody against that defense. So I'm out on the Rams. The Rams can kiss my hind parts. So. And therefore, I have no interest in this game. Next.
All right. Here's a game I think is more interesting than people might have thought. Indianapolis against the Bengals. Jake Browning looks terrific last week. Jamar Chase is catching everything. Joe Mixon's involved. On the other side, we should have faded Zach Moss. We talked about it. I didn't have the guts to do it. But I'm telling you right now, I am playing Zach Moss on 100% of my lineups this week. There's not even a question. I'm going back with a double reverse because he got a lot of opportunities. Willie, do you like Pittman? Do you like Minshew? Do you like this game as a stack? Are you with me on Moss? What are you thinking?
I mean, Moss is going to be in most of my lineups. I mean, what first of all, he had 7 red zone touches. Okay, so he just didn't get it last week. But you saw Cincinnati last week. You saw the game. They give it up on a run and a pass. So this game is you can stack this game. I mean, you really can stack this game. I mean, you could play either. I think you could play Minshew or Brown. Listen, Brown at a price point, he's worth a shot. He proved it to me, and because I picked him up in a couple of leagues. And I played them, So and Indianapolis games, their games, they score. It's not. I mean, you saw what Derrick Henry did last week. The games are like 57, 58. The games. So and you don't have anybody that's got a huge price. So everything's affordable. So this game is stackable. This game is stackable. I'm definitely going to have a couple of pieces in this game, a piece or two in this game at least, but Moss will be in most of my lineups.
What about you, Swami? Are you all in on Moss? Do you like Minshew? Do you like Chase? T. Higgins did nothing last week. I could see him doing well because sometimes they go, if they forget T. Higgins, they go to him. And I'm going to save it for the end. My guy at the end, when we talk about Swami says and balls to walls calls.
You talk about tight end. I know who you're talking about.
That's right. Kylan Granson, baby. Kylan Granson. Giddy up.
I think I'm interested in this game, and at the same time, I'm equally concerned about this game. Browning flashed last week. That was probably the best Browning we've seen. Is he going to bring that back, or is he going to be the Browning that he probably was, before last week? A lot of the plays, the chase were kind of just short. A lot of kind of get the ball out of his hands kind of quick. I feel like they didn't trust him to see things if he had to drop back beyond 5 steps. Browning did some things that I think looked good, but not enough where I think I'll trust Chase. I'll say that. I would have to go with somebody else, even though Chase got all of the targets. It's just that price point and that QB, I can't do it. But the other side, but I think something's going to happen. I like Mixon a lot. I think Mixon he's getting close to being somebody I'm going to put the padlock on because I just think he's the key for that offense. Brown just has to convert first.
Swami, hold on a second. Does it worry you that Chase Brown was involved? At one point, he had more carries than Mixon.
That did a little bit, but I didn't know if that was the short. I didn't know if, what was going on there and what might have created that. I do think that is a concern, and that's why I said I'm still want to make sure that he's healthy and make sure that he's going to get at least 18 touches. But I like his price, and I think he will, and that's the only reason I'm thinking that Mixon is probably going to swing back. The same thing I think you're thinking kind of with Moss. It was like, all right, after what happened last week and everybody was on him. Folks will be down on him. Because I like Minshew a lot, because I like Pittman, I like even all the receivers for Minshew, which Minshew, again, he might be a lock for me. And if he is, I'm not mad at Granson. I think he's in play, and I think that will bring Moss in play because I like the whole offense. But it's going to depend on what I'm seeing on the other side. It is that cause for pause with Mixon, but I do like them.
All right, let's get to a game.
I think this game I think I'm gonna have one game stack. I think it's worth a game stack in this game. If it goes off, you're going to be in good shape, and then you have a couple of late games to finish it up with.
All right, let's get to Jacksonville and Cleveland, guys. I mean, this is just 30 and a half. But just let me throw the but out there. Joe Flacco looked good last week. I would argue he looked good for him. I'd argue he looked good. Tell me he's not better than any Jet quarterback. Tell me the Jets wouldn't be in a playoff hunt right now if they had Joe Flacco. Tell me, Swame.
I'll tell you that he had that last drive with Ford and he came out. And I had just went down in my season-long league because Stafford had just hit his good buddy in the end zone, and they had both players. They had both Stafford and they had his receiver on the final touchdown. I went down 2 points. All I needed him to do was to hit Ford on a couple of passes as the game was going down. They ran it with Ford a couple times, and then nothing happened. And then Joe Flacco proceeded to back all the way up through the end zone and wouldn't even dump the ball down. Y'all called him Captain Dump Off, and he was just Captain Dump, and he took a dump all over my lineups. Guess what? Fell out of second place, didn't get a bye this week, and I got to go against one of the toughest teams in the league. And for no other reason than Joe Flacco couldn't dump it down twice. So I tell you what, Doc, he won't be getting anything from me. What'll be in that stocking going to be ashes, big guy. I can't stand him.
What about Willie? Let's talk to you because you're reasonable about this. What about Elijah Moore? What about David Njoku? What about Parker Washington, who flashed? What about Zay Jones? Any cheap guys that you want to take a shot on here?
Yeah, that was a different defense. Mr. Washington, I know he's cheap, but I saw what he did, and I saw his little touchdown that he got off of the bounce, and he got the touchdown. But the only one I would have interest in, I don't have interest in Flacco, but they do look better. They do look better with Flacco. I agree, but he does have a thing going on with Elijah Moore. So he does have something. Now, is Cooper out or not?
They haven't determined yet, so I think he's going to be a game time decision.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Cedric Tillman might be in play.
Yeah, 3,400. I'm not going there with him though.
I would take more in his targets. I wouldn't go as far as Cedric. I think Moore's getting enough targets where he's interested, but I think if you go with Cedric, it might be a little bit of a reach. And I think Parker is probably at 3,000. I think he's worth a shot. But when you start to mess with these offenses, Doc, and you bring in once the quarterback play changes,
that quarterback stinks.
But he has played. I mean, he was the 49ers quarterback years ago. It's not like he hasn't played in the NFL.
But he stinks.
But he stinks. All right. Detroit against Chicago, 43.5. Now, this is a little confusing to me, only that the Lions have put up points week in and week out, but Vegas is saying, I don't think we're going to put up points. So do we trust Vegas or do we trust our eyeballs? Do we trust Justin Fields, Willie? Can Justin Fields take down a tournament? Do you like DJ Moore, Cole Kmet? I mean, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Gibbs. There's a lot to like in this game.
It is, but I'm more interested on the Chicago side because what people haven't seen is Chicago's defense has got healthy, and they haven't. They've been a lot better. And then you got Detroit going on the road, where they're not as efficient. And then if you look at Detroit lately, they've been struggling a little bit. But I'm gonna tell you one thing that I do know, that in 3 games, that I know Fields averaged 128 yards rushing per game, and Fields eats them up. Another thing that I do know that my goodness, the receiver DJ Moore, he's been getting over 19 points. So I do have interest. If I play Fields, DJ Moore's coming with him because they have been Detroit. The last 4 games have given up 40% of the output to receivers, and you know what receiver that eats them up is DJ Moore. So I will definitely have a Fields Moore combination. So I could put Command with it, but really it's just DJ Moore and Fields. But listen, we know Detroit struggles with running quarterback. It's Justin Fields. They struggle with Justin Fields. He eats them up on a run, and I'm gonna tell you, so therefore I do like Justin Fields. I think that he's a man of interest for me. So I'm gonna have some, definitely gonna have some shares of Fields. And I'm gonna have if I play Fields, I'm gonna play more. But I don't know how much I'm gonna run back on the other side. I don't think it's gonna be that fantasy goodness that you think. I think it's gonna be like what Swame says, it's going to be a scrap, but if I had any interest, it's definitely in Fields for sure.
Swame, I'm with Willie. I like Fields. I like Moore, but Montgomery revenge narrative coming back to Chicago. Amon-Ra St. Brown, can you ever rule him out? The guy's always, 8 for 60. Laporta's in play. Or can you even run, let's just say can you run a naked Fields? What do you want to do here?
It's going to be up to Jared Goff. It's going to be up to him. If he's turning the ball over, I think that the Bears are playing well. If he's turning the ball over, it's probably not going to be fantasy goodness. But if he can limit the turnovers, I think is enough on that Detroit offense where they can put up some points. It might not be, that track meet to Wall's point, but it could be, a little bit of fantasy goodness, especially if he's able to get St. Brown, who I think will be involved, or Laporta involved. They're going to have to do something on the offense, I think, to take I want to say to kind of punch the Bears in the mouth. And if they do that, I think then we'll get a little bit more pace. It'll speed the Bears up a little bit. It'll be a little bit more back and forth. But if it's not, and the Bears are playing with a lead, that defense got his ear pinned back on the road, and Goff is being the bad Goff, then no. So right now, I'm probably thinking that if I stay with the DJ Moore Fields combination, from a GPP perspective, I think you got to come back with somebody. And right now, I'm thinking St. Brown, but it could be Laporta.
All right. Tampa Bay is playing Atlanta. Atlanta's at home. And I said to you guys, I had a sneaky stack here. Maybe Desmond Ridder and Drake London. Maybe sneaky. And I'm going to just tell you why. Desmond Ridder plays better at home than the road. He's a little mobile. Is he Justin Fields light? Right? If Justin Fields is going to run for 100 yards and throw for 200, could Desmond Ridder run for 50 and throw for 200? And then I'm getting him microscopically owned. I pair him with Drake London. Tampa can't stop anybody. And then I just put all my expensive guys around that. And I pray that Ridder and London can get me, 40 points and I'm good, Swame. Am I delusional? Is Willie going to be barfing into his own sweatshirt?
Doc, we tried this Ridder experiment a couple of times, got burned. I think in between there he came up and he found a way to have a game, and I think that was against Houston. Doc, I like to say that there's something there, but I don't know if I could trust it a whole lot. This is a division game. I feel like this is one like Willie used my phrase, a scrap. I think this could be a scrap. I think both defenses are probably going to be involved. The Falcons defense is playing better, surprisingly. They've been creating turnovers and wreaking a little bit of havoc. Man, this could have the kickers out there on the field in this game. I don't know if it's going to be enough points. Last game, what was the last game? 14-13, 16-13? I think we're looking at another 16-13 kind of game.
Willie, Atlanta plays better at home. They play faster at home. And Arthur Smith has shown that if he has to throw, He will begrudgingly. Come on, you were the Ritter fan earlier in the season. Buy into this.
And guess what? I'm off that bus. He stinks. And I am not playing that wrestler. He will. Listen, he's like playing chlamydia, gonorrhea, everything at one time. No, thank you. I'm out. I'm not playing that wrestler. You'll get a disease on you.
Oh my God. 71 yards, 39 yards, 168 yards, 121 yards.
He's warming up for this week. I'm telling you, he's warming up. Just remember, Swami, last year, I don't remember what week it was. I looked at you and I said, can Joe Flacco win somebody $1 million? And you sat there and said, I don't think so. I get what you're saying, Doc, but no. This feels like my Joe Flacco week. I'm calling it.
And here's what I'll say about Joe Flacco.
No, I'm calling about Ritter, not Flacco.
Because I know no lineup, and I tell Willie this all the time, no lineup has one guy. So what happened is it was 7 or 8 guys that carried one stinker. And
correct. Desmond Ritter's $5,000. I can get McCaffrey in. I can get everybody I want into that lineup.
And you can, I think Browning has more potential than he's more accurate. He's not accurate. That's the thing.
But you like the concept then, Willie? Right?
No. I'm gonna play. I'm gonna have a little Browning because he's 5,200.
A couple more bucks for Gardner Minshew, who can actually throw the football.
But I have Zach Moss, and I think Zach Moss is going to run for 2 touchdowns.
And then if Minshew throw for 2, there's your 40 you've been looking for. Same kind of price. There you go.
All right, let's go with we know what man he stinks. I mean, I got enough for you.
But I think to Doc's point, he is a GPP shot, right?
Because
he's home, he runs the ball, and it is the Bucks. But he got been awful.
He's been cheeks. All right.
More like ass PP.
The Jets are playing Houston. It's a 33 spot. I'm just going to give you a couple of players. All right. I'm not playing CJ Stroud. Can you play Garrett Wilson? Is Garrett Wilson playable this week?
Doc, you got weather. You got weather. You got weather and Wilson. What more do we need to say about Garrett Wilson?
Willie, is Nico Collins in play this week?
Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. I respect the Jets. I respect that defense. So I'm just saying it's a stay away from me on this game.
All right, then let me ask a bigger question. Can you play CJ Stroud in seasonal?
This depends on who you got. You probably have to play him, but this is a tough game. And it's weather. Like if this would have been in the dome or maybe, but like the Jets.
So we taking a dome. Yeah, we taking a dome team, bringing them outside. So
but CJ played in Ohio for years. He knows what it's like to play in the cold and crappy.
Yeah, I know, but it's a difference when you're in the home in the dome. And a lot of his games have been dome games.
We said the Texans, not him. They all individually play somewhere.
All right, let's move on from that travesty. Let's get to some 4:00 games. There's a good one and a bad one. Let's start with the 4:05 game. Las Vegas against Minnesota. Now, before you start crapping all over things, I think Aiden O'Connell throwing to Devontae Adams could be interesting. Devontae Adams, to me, Willie, is a man of interest. He has played well. Minnesota's okay on the back end. Can you get behind Josh Jacobs? Can you get behind Devontae Adams?
I tell you, I don't think I'm having any.
You need some Pepto. You need some Malento over there.
I don't know, man. This game sounds like. I heard people talk about Adams, but I'm not playing him. I just can't get there. I can't. I can't get there. See, to make things good, you got to have that quarterback. like
Well,
Josh
Connell's been
Allen.
good the last couple of games. He's been good.
Oh yeah.
No, I would say. I mean, he's not been bad.
Yeah, but let me see. Let's look at Mr. Hold on. I'll look at him real quick, and I'll give you a prognosis because
All right, last game he went 23 for 33 for 248 yards. Before that, 24 for 41 and 271 yards. Problem is he's not throwing touchdown passes, but he played Kansas City and Miami and the Jets. He has played some good teams. He has not played a bad team yet.
I noticed that you skipped the interceptions, Doc, but it's okay.
All right, just don't worry about that part, Swami. Don't get technical. All right, Swami, do you like Justin Jefferson? Do you like TJ Hawkinson? Do you like any Viking?
You love Justin Jefferson. You love TJ Hawkinson. They're not the problem. Do you want to talk about the quarterback? Do I gotta say it? I mean, we gotta trust him.
Okay, can Josh Dobbs take down a GPP? Can you go Dobbs, Jefferson, and Hawkinson and bring it back with Adams?
Doc, that's an expensive experiment. I just don't know. You got to at least see one game. Somebody's going to try it from a GPP perspective, and I think they wouldn't be wrong. Like if somebody told me they had a lineup with Hawkinson, Dobbs, and Jefferson and coming back against Allen, I would say they got a set of kahunas. Kahunas grande. Well, they got more lineups than me from a GPP perspective. But I tell you, Doc, every time you hear every week, nobody is willing to say that something is just crazy anymore because we've seen so much craziness happen. But I think that would be a little bit crazy.
A little too crazy. A little too crazy. Willie, do you like Hawkinson? Are you willing to spend up for Hawkinson?
I think because I want to get to certain back from San Francisco in my lineups, I think I got to pass on. Hawkinson. I see. Right. I understand.
Let's talk about that game now. Seattle's at San Francisco. Geno Smith is a game time decision. Seattle is a run funnel defense. Christian McCaffrey in there. Is Christian McCaffrey, Willie, a must play this week?
He's definitely a man of interest for me. He'll be in a lot of my lineups. He tore him down the last time. You could listen. You can run. You saw what Paula did last week. You can run it. You can run on him. You can run on San Francisco. I like. There's two players I like from San Francisco. Debo does better against the zone. Debo and McCaffrey for me in this game.
Will you stack it with Brock Purdy?
Nah, I don't think I'm gonna play Brock. I like those two. Without Brock, and I can get my quarterbacks for 5,100, 5,200. For less. So I could be able to from elsewhere. But I do like Debo and McCaffrey. Definitely McCaffrey. McCaffrey's almost like I'm just going to pay up for McCaffrey. I think we got with some additional stuff from Kansas City as somebody being out. I think we got some additional salary that we could use. So I think like I said, I'm going to have a lot of McCaffrey.
Swami, will you have a lot of McCaffrey? Do you like anything in this game? Do you like DK Metcalf in this game? Do you like Jackson Smith-Njigba in this game? Do you like Debo? What other guys? So A, are you in on McCaffrey? And B, other guys that you like?
So I like McCaffrey. I think he's probably a lock. I think you should probably look to get him in most of your lineups. Not just the matchup. The fact that they're home is Seattle. I think everything's kind of pointing that this is a good play. I'm only cautious from a conversation I had last week and that was just around Tyreek Hill, is that when these guys, their price, even when they're in smash spots, when their price is up there, it's just I'm cautious because I think about how they can impact your lineup. Even when you see value on the slate, if you saw last week, Doc, it was a lot of guys who were in that Debo, Nico Collins, Pittman range that put up the same kind of numbers that Hill did. So you got to make sure that we look at everybody first. But I think it's safe to say that there's still a gap between McCaffrey and everybody else.
How much is McKinnon, Willie?
He's 4,800.
So by putting him in with McCaffrey, you're getting two guys that are around 6,500.
Right. Yeah, I mean,
But
I'm
they're
just saying.
but
You
together
also,
they may be 60% owned together.
yeah, I mean, or no, I think more people are going to be on the $4,200 back for Kansas
Oh,
City.
Edwards-Helaire?
Yeah, because he's starting.
Swami, are you in on McKinnon with McCaffrey?
McKinnon. Wait 1 second. McKinnon. Got a note here. Not just no, but hell no. That's what it say right here on my note. Not playing no doggone McKinnon. First of all, I didn't like the starting running back. Was you could barely trust him, but he run with a heart and a swagger, and he runs so doggone hard, and he got the speed. I like McKinnon, but I again, it's not a bad play, but I don't like the play of McKinnon and McCaffrey. I'd rather you figure out something else with two other backs. If it came down to that, I'd rather you take the chance with say Eckler and Kamar. If you had to kind of figure it out a little bit, we talking GPP. I just don't like. What's the game where McKinnon has 2 or 3 touchdowns and 100 yards?
This could be the game. This could be that game.
McKinnon, listen, McKinnon has had games of 2 touchdowns. I mean, this is the type of game that he can flourish in. You know, this is the type of game he could get 7 or 8 passes out of the backfield. You know, he could run. I mean, I'm just saying, listen, he's worth the shot at 4,800. He's worth the shot. I'm going to take a shot because he's giving us more value. I'm locking Moss in. Moss is in there, but I could get other people in there. And I'm just saying, I'm going to take a shot because I like he's explosive. I like guys that are explosive. Edwards-Helaire is not explosive.
Not explosive.
Doc, we talk a lot about the pieces, and I'm saying that it's a good piece, but I'm starting to think, and every week, as you've seen and you've talked about quite a bit, we have the pieces. Doc, you've had quite a bit of the pieces. We got to put the pieces together. And sometimes it's a player or two that impacts our ability to put the best 8 or 9 pieces together.
And I'm with you, but here's my question. McCaffrey, Moss, and McKinnon will be rostered by 48% of people. Agree or disagree? That combination.
I think they'll be the highest owned guys likely, yes.
Willie, are you playing that combo? Because I know that feels like a Willie Walls combo to me. That's a Willie Walls combo.
I am going to have it, but like I said, I'm going to also probably mix in Helaire. I might mix in somebody else or another back, or may go with 4 receivers. I mean, I'm gonna mix it up, but it's going to be all about how we still going to have that we're going to be looking for that one player. Because look, 1 or 2 players make your lineup contrarian.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. So you can have those 3, but you need to have that one receiver or the defense or the tight end or somebody or the Desmond Ritter. I'm sorry, or the somebody who explodes.
Right. I mean, we got to find that. But I'm just saying. But those, I just think. But the reason I like those kind of guys, I like McKinnon because unlike Helaire, McKinnon's explosive. You know what I mean? He's explosive. I like that type of person. I like a type of person that can, he can catch. And he could take it to the house if he gets it. That's why I like. Now, I'm not saying, how much I'm going to have of them, but I'm definitely going to have my share of McKinnon for sure.
I want to lead into McKinnon, Swami, and talk about the next game, obviously. I'm telling you the following. The Chiefs don't look right. They don't. They don't look right.
Agreed.
I think McKinnon's presence helps them look more right than they've been. They need another wrinkle. They need something out of the backfield. They need to change something up right now to make this team run better. Because right now it's like a car that's just not running right. And you're bringing it back to the shop, and the guy is like, it looks fine to me. And you bring it out there, and it's not driving right, Swami. So is McKinnon that cog that can help the Chiefs run right?
I think we've kind of gotten so used to this game being like fantasy goodness, and both of these offenses, just when they came together and when they played, they were both kind of hitting on all cylinders. And I think what we've seen this year is both of them kind of staggering along. The Bills had like 1 game, I think, or 2 games where they were like okay, and then 2 games where we needed a little bit more from them, and the Chiefs have been sputtering along the same way. So because of that reason, I'm just not sure. I'm just looking at these games. They sputtered in Denver, they sputtered in Cincinnati, they sputtered in Tampa Bay, they sputtered in New England, they sputtered for the Giants. I'm talking about the Bills here, and Kansas City the same way. And I'm going over the last 5 or 6 games, so I got no reason to think they're going to come together and suddenly go over and have the. I don't necessarily see them having the second highest total on the week.
But Willie, Allen is going to be like 2% owned.
Mm-hmm.
Stephon Diggs is going to be 2%. 2% in the highest scoring game of the week. Are we going to look back on this and say we were dopes? We should have had this one, Willie.
No, listen. I'm gonna take a couple of shots with Buffalo players because I think Allen again. Because now people are not talking about him, and rightfully so. Because if you look at it, how many people have gone off against Kansas City? Not a lot. They've held people that they've held people down. If you look at all the receivers, nobody's had a real big game. You know what I mean? So I get it, but that's why he will be a great GPP play. Because, like I said, sometimes you get that where he could get a cooker. You saw it in the Philly game, but Philly's secondary is worse. Kansas City, they have basically held a lot of people in check. There's nobody that has gone off against Kansas City passing the ball.
I am going to game stack this game. I kid you not. I have 3 lineups. I run with 3 lineups on DK. I promise you I'm going to game stack with one of my lineups because I don't want to feel like I missed out. I got FOMO. And I'm going to say,
but I'm going to say this, and I can see it. Kelsey is not the Kelsey that he used to be. Okay, Kelsey has lost a step. You understand what I'm saying? So
I'm still playing him. I will still play Kelsey in this game. I will play Diggs. I will play Kelsey. I will play Allen. I'll play Shakir. I'll play McKinnon.
I got it, but I'm just saying.
So I went over the Bills side. Now I'm going over my home side against. I'm talking about, and this is the competition. Green Bay Packers, 14 points. The Las Vegas Raiders, 20 points. Fantasy points, that is. Miami Dolphins, 16. Denver Broncos, 8. What are we expecting here? It's low on what? I mean, boo-boo is still boo-boo, no matter if it's on your fingers, if it's wherever it's at, it's still boo-boo. Well, what are we doing with that?
I just feel like you guys are. I get it. But you're going to look back on this conversation and say we should have.
Listen, I'm gonna have a shot. But listen, if I got 3 lineups, it would just be one. It would not be at all. I'm just saying. I understand what you're saying, and I think Allen is worth a shot, but it's not a great shot. It's definitely a GPP play because I'm telling you, they have held people down. And I mean, the guy I'm more interested in Kansas City is 2 people, is McKinnon and Rice.
But I'm talking about the 5 most recent times they've hit the field. We're talking the Raiders, Green Bay, Denver, Miami, and he couldn't do anything. Why didn't the Bills? Is he going to light it up?
Because the Bills stink on D. The Bills couldn't stop the 3 of us out there. Willie will block. I'll throw it and you catch it, Swame. We might score on the Bills. Not kidding. I can air it about 40 yards. Can you run?
But
Willie can block.
I think scoring it puts him somewhere around 21 to 25 fantasy points. It doesn't put you around 40 fantasy points. And that's where Patrick Mahomes got to be.
All right, let's get to this last game here. The Chargers against the Broncos. The Chargers have been poo-poo, but they're coming home. Nobody's going to want to play them. Nobody. They play better at home. This game could Willie shoot out. It could, because the Chargers defense can't stop anybody. Can you get behind Eckler? Can you get behind Keenan Allen? Can you get behind Herbert? Can you get behind Cortland Sutton? Can you get behind this game?
Listen, they have been bad, but this is. I'm going to take a shot with Herbert. He's been so bad. You know what I mean? I'm gonna take a shot with Herbert. I understand. And listen, I get it. I listen. I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. But I'm gonna take it. Listen. Hey, listen. I'm gonna be honest with you. This whole slate sucks. You know.
Yeah, it's icky. It's icky.
I mean, there's not nothing that you like. Yeah, I'm gonna. This whole slate is gonna. It's gonna be pieces in a dream. You have to have pieces here, pieces there. It's not gonna be in one game where you get all the pieces there. It's gonna be a piece. It's gonna be a piece slate. But I'm just saying, Swami. I understand. Listen, I understand. I get it. They have been crap. But out of 20 lineups, I'm gonna have Herbert in one. Okay, where I will have a Herbert. I just said out of 20, just one shot. It's a shot. I'm shooting, and I got a blindfold and a half for both eyes. But I gotta have a Herbert, Keenan Allen running back with Sutton. You know what I mean? Something
all
like
right.
that. You know?
I have no problem with that.
You know,
Swami,
so
do you like this? Do you like this game at all, Swami?
Let me give y'all his game against Denver, and I'll let y'all tell me. 2020, 16 fantasy points. 2021, 17 fantasy points. 2022, 9 fantasy points. I'll stop there. Listeners, you can hear it clearly. Whatever he's got in his peace pipe, I don't have in mind. His flask is empty. All I know is happy hour started early over there. Not only is he playing bad, historically he hasn't done nothing against him. No, thank you.
All right. I got one stack Willie Walls, $100 bill. You're playing the $100 single entry. Where's it going?
Fields and DJ Moore.
Swami?
Doc, I want to go back to my guy Purdy because he's pretty good, but I won't do that to you here. No, not for me. I'm going with Minshew, and I'm going with Michael Pittman, and I'll take either Moss from you guys or Granson, and I think I'll then look to maybe bring it back with somebody from the other side.
By the way, Swami, in a high-stakes league, I have Justin Herbert and Gardner Minshew as my quarterback. I'm up by about 30 points. You playing Minshew or Herbert?
This week I'm playing Minshew.
All right, my stack is going to be the Kansas City Chiefs. Crazy, I know it, but I'm going to go like Mahomes, McKinnon, and Kelsey. All right, balls to the walls call from Willie Walls. Who is your guy?
I think it's time for Mr. Likely of the Ravens to have maybe a 2-touchdown game. I like Mr. Likely this week, and I got a second person I think that's interesting is Everett. Everett for
Charles Everett.
Yep.
Yeah. Look at really running out the 2 tight end offense. Swami, who is the Swami says pick of the week?
Swami says those 2 guys are more likely to catch some communicable disease than That's, but I'm taking this week, Doc. Give me old Jerry Jeudy.
Ooh, digging him out of the grave.
Digging him out. Last time he played these guys last year was week 18. He had a big game. He's been claiming in the news. He was open a couple of times. Wilson just missed him. I think they'll find him in this game maybe for a big one. Give me.
I do like Jerry.
Or he could be big chlamydia. Either one, he's going to do something big.
It's a deep sleeper.
I like Jeudy. I like. By the way, I like Isaiah Likely a ton. I like Likely a ton. My guy this week for is going to be Drake London because I think the Buccaneers kind of are not good in the back end. I'm just telling you, I just have this feeling that one of my 3 lineups may just be. I think I'm going to go like a Fields Moore, a Buffalo Kansas City stack, and it could be a Ritter London and figure it out. It's not great. Not great. I'm not loving it, but this, like you said, Willie, this feels like give me something weird that's going to happen this week, Willie.
I mean, it's going to be a game that's going to go off that we figured it's not going to go off. You know, and that's what's going to happen this week. It's going to be in an unlikely place. You're not going to, it wouldn't. This slate sucks so bad. It could be. Listen, we know the Ravens defense is great, and I think they're going to hold them down. But there might be the Rams might do something. You know, where the Ravens they in a shootout, and we don't expect. I mean, this year has been weird. Period. You know, but it's going to be some game that we're not looking at and we're not talking about that's going to shoot off. You know, and but this game as a whole is nothing that I'm really like. Man, it's whew. Yeah, it's just spread out to me. It's going to be pieces to me.
Swami, what's the weird thing that's going to happen this week?
I think maybe that Bengals game, Colts could get crazy. I think maybe the Denver Kansas City game could maybe
Denver Chargers or Kansas City Buffalo?
I think Denver Chargers. I think Kansas City Buffalo. I just don't think that those teams are like.
I'm telling you, I'm not going to be surprised if Herbert goes off. He's been so bad. He's been so bad.
No, I don't think you just overcome the way he's playing that quickly. And if they don't get Eckler involved, I don't think they can play well. And he just hasn't been involved. They're using Eckler like, I don't know, like
if he can't get right this week, he's done. If he can't get right against Denver, he's been so bad. I'm probably going to have a couple of shares of Eckler because, this is a time when you could get these guys because nobody's going to play. I mean, that's how you win a tournament, man. It'll be somebody like Herbert go for 4. I know, and he hasn't done it. I get it.
I'm noticing a second pandemic, Doc. And
what?
I'm noticing a second pandemic, and I'm going to call it gut feeling 19. It's when everybody's gut is telling them something insane. And they think that that's what's happening. No, people are taking calculated risk, but it's not this gut 19, this G19 stuff that's going around.
But look, I do think, like Willie said, it's going to be something weird. I think Keaton Mitchell's going to score this week. I think
here, Doc. That's like
he may be Devin Achan light. Like he touches the ball 8 times and scores 2.
But we don't think that's weird. Even if Kansas City Buffalo went off and we came back,
that's not weird.
I wouldn't tell you that's weird, right?
That's not weird.
If Willie's, them guys he called out, I'm talking about guys we hope do anything, talking about catch 2 touchdowns. I can't even get them to catch 2 passes. Them bastards.
Hey, but I'm just telling you, because see what hurt everything is not having Dallas, Philadelphia. That game is going to be that's the game of the week.
Game of the week.
They got there.
This is a rough slate. It really feels like a rough slate. It is. It's messy.
Anytime you got Miami, Miami is must see TV. So you got them.
If those quarterbacks were playing, it might be a little bit different in some of those games. But you take the quarterbacks out and some of the other injuries, we don't know what we're getting with some of these games. Anytime you guys are talking about Joe Flacco 2 weeks in a row, oh my gosh.
All right, we don't need to depress you guys. What?
No, I was just saying it's the year of the backup quarterback. I've never seen so many backups in my life. Never. Have I seen so many backups, and they stink. Most of them stink. No. And even Green Bay, even Green Bay's playing better, but they're not on the side. Because I love the way I love the way Love is playing.
Willie's in love with Love.
And then they lose Watson to another hamstring.
Don't worry, I like Dontavian Wicks just fine. He's really good.
I love Wicks. Is Watson?
He was good. By the way, he was good at UVA. He was a good receiver. He just got overshadowed, but he's very good.
Okay. So is Watson out, Swami? Is he definitely out?
I think he's out.
I think he's going to be out. That didn't look good.
Yeah, it was like that. It was really good.
That's all I'm grabbing his hands. I said, there you go. That's why I got rid of that bastard. I said, that's why you can. All
right. Good luck to everybody out there. For Doc, Willie, and Swami, we say be well and take care.
Get out the insurance. Thanks for stopping by the office. Get your fantasy prescription by subscribing to the channel and checking out drroto.com. And until the next visit, be well and take care.